Hey y'all, yeah, I am back to work after 4 months off. But while I was off, I found out a way that you can really mess up your CDL if you're not careful. Yep, back to work after 4 months off with a broken foot, and nobody, including me, thought that it would ever take 4 months for a couple bones in my foot to heal up. But that's what happened. That's what it did. So, that being that, I do want to talk about something that I mentioned in another video I did a while back while I was off about my DOT physical. Now, my DOT physical expired like November 20 something, the third week of November. And I broke my foot 19th of September. And I thought, well, I shouldn't have a problem getting my DOT physical by that time it's due because I should be back to work in a couple months. It shouldn't take that long. Then I found out when I got really close that I wasn't going to be off in time for my DOT physical to be done, and I had to figure out what to do. I had some people say you can send a letter to the DOT, or you can have your safety guy call the DOT, and they can put your CDL on hold until you're able to take your DOT physical and come back to work if you're hurt. I got hurt at work. Well, I wasn't so sure of that. I didn't want to take that chance. So I called the DMV. Well, I actually went down there because you can't get anybody on the phone. But I went down there and talked to them, and they said, no, what you have to do if you're off work hurt, or say you just going to not drive for a while, you're going to do something else, another career for a while, but you want to save your CDL, you have to actually make an appointment at the DMV, because at least in Texas, there's no same day appointments. You can't just walk in, there's no walk ins. So you got to get online, make an appointment, come in, fill out a whole bunch of paperwork stating that you need to put this restriction on. They don't really care why. You just that you want to put this restriction on your CDL, which says you still have a CDL, but you can't drive a CMV while you have this restriction, which is a great thing to be able to do, I guess. But the, then you go in there, you fill out the paperwork, and then it's a new license, $11 in Texas. They give you a whole new license, and then you wait a couple weeks for the hard copy to come in. Well, I was fortunate. The day before my DOT physical was going to expire, I frantically got online, and I actually found a next day appointment in a DMV office about 20 miles from my house. So what you do, at least in Texas, you get online, the DMV website, scheduling website, and you look for different cities. You can put in different cities, and they'll tell you when the next available appointment is for the specific thing that you need. Right? You can't just walk in and they ask you what you need, and then they do it. You got to have a specific reason, and that's how you do your appointment. So I got that done. When it was done, when my physical was expired, and I got the restriction put on my license in time, so it's not a problem. So I knew I had that, but it came to a pretty good juggling act that I had to figure out how to do, because I started thinking, when I come back to work, I'm going to have to get another appointment, go back in, fill a bunch of paperwork out, and get the restriction taken off my license. So what I had to do is I had to try to figure out, okay, this is my appointment that I at the occupational med center. I think that they're going to release me. And what I got to do is I got to go in, see the doctor, get released. Then you got to come back out to the front, give him your paperwork for the DOT physical, and go back in and take your physical. So I figured out the date on that, and it was going to be the 22nd of January is when I had that appointment at the occupational med place. So, and this one I'm figuring this out is in like the third week of December, before Christmas even. I started looking for appointments. I looked at all the ones around my house that were really close, 10, 15, 20, 30 miles, even 50, 60 miles. And the earliest appointment I could find in any of those places close by was March or April. Now, if I could have been released from the occupational med place, and if I didn't have my DOT physical and get it certified, I can't be back to work. I'd be out of service until I have my DOT physical certified at the DMV. So I started looking farther out, farther out, farther out, and I finally found one on January the 24th, 2 days after my DOT physical, which was great. But the problem was it was down in Temple, Texas. If you don't know anything about where I live in Arlington. Temple, Texas is 130 miles from my house in Arlington. So I had to get up Wednesday morning, the 24th, drive the 130 miles down to the DMV, sit and wait in line for 20, 30 minutes. They processed all the paperwork, got the restriction taken off my license, and certified my new DOT physical. So I'm ready to go. Now, cautionary tale here. Another guy, a friend of mine, has been off work. He had knee replacement. He didn't realize all this. He thought the line about having your safety guide write a letter or call the DOT and they would put your CDL on hold. He thought that would work, and that's what they tried. So when I figured this out, what I had to do, I called him and said, hey, you better check this out if your DOT physical expires. And it had, and he let it go. I don't know if it's 30, 60 days. No one can ever tell me exactly what the time frame is. But he got a letter. His CDL was downgraded to a Class C. And some of you are thinking, well, that's not a big deal. I can just, when I'm ready, I go back in, maybe take a written test and get my CDL back. Not how it works. If you let your license go because of a DOT physical or you get suspended or something like that, you have to go back through an approved ELDT training course. Then take all your written tests and a practical test. Again, you got to start all over from the beginning. And I'm not sure what he's going to do. I don't think he's figured it all out yet because he's going to be off for a couple more months. I told him if it was me, he's a little older than me even. If it was me, I would just go ahead and retire. I'm not going to be able to pass any of those tests. So, so be careful if that's what your situation is. If you're off work for any reason, you're going to start another career for a little while, or you're hurt, start thinking about when your DOT physical expires and get all this done. So stick around. Watch some more of my videos. I'll put a playlist up because I hadn't put any videos out in a couple months. So I'll put some playlists of some old videos. I appreciate you watching. I'm back on me making videos. Come back and see some more. We'll see you later.